All right, you should be able to see my screen. We're gonna get started. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. What we're going to talk about is scams, which has been a huge issue for a lot of us. Doesn't matter whether you're 5 years old, 25, or 65. So, just a little bit about me. If you are new and we're not present in our first presentation, is my name is Olga St Pierre. I had a pleasure of meeting Magnolia in her community when I did a little quick tidbit, quick information on a declutter, how to do that without losing your mind. I am a senior living specialist. I am a trained real estate agent by trade, and I'm specialized in serving clients in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I've been doing that, which I love, truly what I do, is for the last 15 years. We do help our clients be intentional and responsible homeowners in our community. And these workshops and sharing knowledge is part of our community service. And of course, we also love to be your concierge services. Think of us as your yellow pages. If you are looking for any contractor recommendation, any kind of advice, any kind of professional suggestions, please let us know. We're more than happy to help you. What I don't want you doing is just picking people out of yellow pages or calling somebody from the billboard being advertised. So that's a little bit about us. And let's jump right in and talk about why talking about scams and kind of trying to figure out your way around it is so important, because the financial fraud that has resulted from scams has cost many people around the country around $45 billion. I think it's sometimes kind of hard to even wrap your head around what that number looks like. And an important statistic to keep in mind is that 80% of the scam victims quite often are targeted towards seniors. So they're 60 years old and older. And the reason is because scammers choose to prey on seniors is because of their unease of technology and fear regarding the computers. Right? So that's what they do. They prey on this fear. What I can tell you is that every time I update this workshop, it's just amazing how much more smarter and more sophisticated some of these scams can get. I get phone calls all the time, almost daily. I get phishing emails all the time. And it's really, really scary. So I've actually included some of the examples of the things that I get on a regular basis. And I just want you to be informed. And I want you to know that this happens to all of us and that there are ways to prevent these scams from happening. And if not, there are ways to kind of fix this and figure out what to do next if you have been a victim. So that's what we're talking about today. Now, I can tell you that there are unfortunately hundreds, if not thousands, types of scams. And what I did here, of course, I'm going to share this workbook with all of you, is I shared with you some of the most common types of scams that you can see here. So when you get this workbook, because we're only spending a little bit of time together tonight, I really invite you to take the time and to read through all of these so that way you can get more familiar, to make sure that if you do come across something in the future, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, we talked about this in the scams workshop. This is not going to work. Some of the most important ones and common ones are the ones that you're getting as text messages as well as phone calls. So the reason why they do it through phone is because there is no face-to-face interaction. There's no paper trail, right? It's very hard to trace. So you will get phone calls a lot of the times, people impersonating a government employee. What I can tell you 100% with 100% certainty is that no government agency will ever call you. Most of the time, they will communicate with you strictly by mail. That's how they work. So they will ask for your personal information. They will try to threaten you and make you uncomfortable. And that's what they try to do. My suggestion to you is hang up immediately. The government officials are never going to call you. And just think about this as a general rule of thumb. If somebody calls you, they start asking for your personal information, social security number, names of your family, your date of birth, address, anything that is personal, don't give it to them. Not at all, because if you call and you have questions about something, then that company has the right to verify to make sure that you are the person that you say you are, and they will ask you some of the personal information that they can see in their database. If you get a robocall, just hang up. A lot of times you can kind of figure that out as if you pick up your phone and you say hello, hello a couple times and there's silence, and then you get connected to someone like in a customer service environment, right? Some of these really scary ones that I have seen are like fake accidents, car accidents, kidnappings, supposedly calls from family who's in trouble. And those are really tough to verify. I'm not saying that sometimes it doesn't happen, but you just take your time to truly verify the information. And if it sounds really fishy, hang up and then call your family members to verify. Fake charity solicitation, fraudsters are going to use numbers and area codes similar to yours to make you think someone local. So I think what's important to know is just take your time, ask questions, and if your gut is telling you that something is not right, then most likely it's not, so just hang up the phone. With regards to text messages, never respond or click on any links, especially if they look really, really funky. Never, and then sometimes they're going to say something to get you to engage. As you can see, like I have a little bit of a screenshot here for you from some random number that I got a call, and there's a text message that says, I'm here. And okay, who are you? Right. If you don't recognize the phone number, most likely it's just going to be a spam or some kind of scam. Software, you're going to see that often too. Like if you're on a computer and all of a sudden you have a pop-up, right, when you're on the website, do not ever hit accept or yes or do anything on any of those pop-up windows. Don't ever grant permission. And if you think about it, that it might be maybe Microsoft or it's Apple trying to get access to your computer. Again, remember, they're never going to be the ones initiating contact with you unless you call them and you ask for their help. Maybe troubleshoot something, okay? So next one is email. You're probably very much familiar with it because I can tell you that if I go into my scam folder right now on my Gmail, I probably have a good number of God only knows from God only who. And a good way for you to be able to tell that it's most likely a scam is if you look at the address of the person that is emailing you. If it has some random numbers, some weird name, or something just absurd looking, it's most likely a scam. One of the most popular ones that I think most of us have seen is that some prince from Africa left you $5 million and they're contacting you by email for you to claim that money. Aren't we all lucky because we apparently have royalty as relatives somewhere in a different part of the world? So 100% of the time, don't even bother deleting it immediately and don't respond. If you get any kind of email from your bank supposedly or PayPal or anything else stating that your account has been compromised, sometimes those emails do look very convincing. My recommendation to you is don't click on any of those links. Contact your bank directly. If you initiate a phone call to them, you can ask them, I received an email. It's making me nervous. Is my money safe? And they'll be able to verify that because every institution has a fraud and security department that is dedicated to keeping your information as well as your funds safe. Here are some examples for you that I have pulled from my email. And some of the clues that I want to share with you are the ones that are highlighted. Right, so as an example, it says Sam's Club, right? It says from Sam's Club, but as the address, if you can look at it, it is from some bizarre looking kind of address. So you never want to click on anything that looks really fishy. The same thing here, right? The subject that says final notice, you're getting a Walmart gift card. But if you look at the email, it says Walmart, and then it says your walmartsub.com. We all know that that's not an actual legitimate address for Walmart company. Same thing here. It's sending you an email to my Gmail account. It's telling me that I want $1,000 and you have to click on this confirm ASAP button. No, don't do that. I automatically delete them and then take them out of my spam folder so I don't ever have to worry about it. Internet browsers, you'll see pop-ups again. Whenever you see any kind of pop-ups, there's like advertisements where it's telling you that, oh my God, you now have some kind of virus on your computer. Don't hit any of those buttons. Just close out your browser. Another ones that I find very disturbing are scams pertaining to Medicare and your health insurance, especially for seniors. Somebody can call and might may impersonate like a Medicare or Medicaid or your health insurance supplement representative, and they're going to say, oh, well, we have some special promotions for you, but we need to verify some information before we can tell you all about it. They're all bogus. They're never going to call you. Again, it's a government agency. They communicate to you only through mail. And if you want to double check if there's anything available or any kind of specials or incentives, call Medicare directly, call your supplemental insurance directly and ask them. And then they'll be able to tell you whether this information is legitimate or not. Same thing with counterfeit prescription drugs. It's sad and it's crazy just to the degree some of these scam companies go through. And they'll tell you that if you go through a website that is in Mexico, you'll be able to get some of your prescription drugs at really better prices. So just be careful about that as well. Most likely it is not legitimate and you don't want to put your health at risk. Mail-in, in-person scams. I think a lot of us have seen that where people come to the door and they might tell you, well, we're already in the area and we're maybe doing roof assessments or something else, window assessments, if you might be interested. I've had people that come to my door who may be legitimately offering services like Verizon, Comcast. My suggestion to you is just don't open the door. If you have a Ring camera outside, which is one of the recommendations that I make for all the seniors that I work with, it will help you safely assess if it's someone standing outside that is legitimate and you should go ahead and open the door, or if it's someone who's trying to take advantage of it. Funeral and cemetery scams unfortunately also exist, and they're tough, where strangers may even attend funerals and they can prey on the widow or widower, claiming there's outstanding debt that their loved one had, and then they're trying to extort some money. It's terrible, and it's especially they're trying to prey on the time when someone is truly vulnerable. So if you have a loved one like that or a friend of the family, just make sure that you protect them and keeping an eye out for them and helping them get through this tough time. Yes, as you can tell, I am still going with the different types of scams because there's so many of them out there. You're going to get tracking text message scams. So unless you actually signed up to get the USPS tracking request, don't click on any links. It might even look like it's a FedEx or UPS tracking. Again, the same thing, don't click on it. As you can see from the example on the right, which is a screenshot from a cell phone number, it says here, it says, oh, look, this package has arrived at the warehouse and it cannot be delivered. You need to click on that link. As you can see, the link itself is not even it doesn't say United States Postal Service.gov. It says USPXC.shop. That is a complete scam. So just keep in mind, take your time to review everything. And then the same thing on the top where it says the email where it's coming from. It says login, some bizarre number, and it's USPSFAQ.me. Right? This is not an appropriate ending for a legitimate government agency that a United States Postal Service. If you really want to take it a few steps further, you can start reporting some of these scams. I can tell you that I think because of the volume of scams that we all get, it might be really much time consuming. But if you want to take the time, or maybe 10 minutes every few days or so, and actually get them reported, it will help some of the government agencies who are tasked with researching some of these scams and trying to work through and put some kind of policies and procedures in place that would prevent these scammers from going. So how are we going to protect ourselves? I already mentioned and gave you a couple of tidbits as I'm going through each of these scams in each of these slides. But if there's a number that is calling you and you don't recognize it, especially if it's like out of state and it has a really strange area code number, then don't answer it. If it's something important, the person will leave you a message and then you can call them back. If you're talking to someone and they're using a broken and unprofessional and rude language, you don't have to tolerate that. You can hang up as well. You can block solicitations. I do it all the time. If I get a phone call from a number that I know they're probably going to call me back again because they're trying to sell me something, but I know that I don't want to deal with them and spend my own energy, my time, I will actually block them on my phone. So you can do the same thing. You can opt out of commercial mail solicitations if you don't want to get things in the mail by going to optoutprescreen.com is the website that I have listed here under option 3. And then option 2 is you can request to be put on the do not call list by going to this official website. It's donotcall.gov. Okay. What I can tell you is that even though you may put yourself on the do not call list, people are still going to call you. So don't get frustrated. Don't spend a lot of energy on it. Just understand that unfortunately, it's just what we're living with right now in our very much technology-oriented society. If you're not sure what to do, call your family. Think about who's in your family pretty tech-friendly. In my family, it's my kids. Maybe it's your grandkids at some point. I think some of them are getting very much more tech advanced than a lot of us. Give them a call and tell them, this is what I got. This is what my email looks like. Can you tell me if it's legitimate or not? And I'm sure your family member or friend is going to be happy to do the research for you. You can do the research yourself and take it one step further. Again, you don't have to act on anything that you receive. Nothing is like threatening. So you can go on Google and actually research. Type in the name of the company or product name that called you, essential information, and then type in maybe complaint or scam. You can research the IRS call. Just put in the research, the phrase that you're researching in quotation marks, and you can use the same research with contractor names, charities, or anything else that you receive that you may want to contribute financially to, but you're just not sure if they're legitimate. Don't make any upfront payments, deposit any weird looking checks, wire money to anyone back, send out any gift cards. Again, take the time to do your research, and if it's a legitimate company and you feel 100% comfortable doing that, then you can make your payment. If there is free trial offers, be skeptical about it. Be open-minded. Again, do your research ahead of time. If it's a reputable company, which some of them are, they do offer a free trial period where you can try a product. Let's say you buy something and they give you a return policy of returning the product, no questions asked. Let's say for the first 30 or 60 days, which is acceptable. So just double check on those things before you make the purchase of that product. You can also, as item number 8, you can check your smartphone settings so you can modify privacy options and enable code blocking features, which is what I already mentioned to you. I do have that on my phone. If you do need help, just ask somebody who is tech savvy to help you do that on your phone. So that way you feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that your phone is acting also as a protection device for you. Next, don't call phone numbers listed in letters, texts, or emails. Do some research. You can actually Google a phone number and see if it's legitimate before you call. Or you can go to the company website and find their phone number first. So again, take your time. I think is the best advice I can give you. Don't act irrationally right away based on emotion. Don't jump in, and then take the time and do your research, right? Those are, I think, are the 2 most important things that you can take away from what we're talking about today. Some additional things on how you can protect yourself. There are some programs that are available that I have listed here for you. that you can try and use depending on what your comfort level is and what kind of type of protection that you're looking for. You can actually sign up for free scam alerts. The government is going to keep you posted on some of the new ingenious ways that the scammers are using today if you want to. You can also keep a useful list of phone numbers to call. You can program them in your phone. You can create a list and hang it in your office or in your kitchen. Just think about some of the most commonly used phone numbers that you use and do a list of those. This way you're always prepared and you have that spreadsheet handy. And next, trust your intuition. That's a big one. So if you have even an inkling and you think that this might be an issue, it's a very good idea and very good possibility that it probably is. So again, you may delete it, you may not take action on it. Just take your time and process it and figure things out. I'm a big believer in making copies of your important documents just in case you lose them or they get stolen. And what I'm talking about most of the time are your IDs. Let's say your military ID, your senior ID, your driver's license, your credit card, as well as your passport. So that way, if that happens, just in case, you have a copy of that document and you can go to the proper authorities to get your replacement as well. With regards to charitable donations, if that is something that is important to you, you can verify and take a look and see if charity is actually legitimate by going to a website called charitynavigator.com. I found it very helpful. They dive deep into each charity and talk about what kind of causes they support, what is their budget, who you can contact at that charity, and what kind of support are they looking for as well. So, if the situation has occurred and you have been a victim of a scam, the number one advice that I want to give you is that a lot of people have been there. So I don't want you to be embarrassed to talk about it with someone that you can trust, your family, your friend member, police, right? You're not alone. Quite a few people have been through it. As you saw in one of my first slides, $46 billion have been lost to scammers, but there are agencies and people and government agencies as well that can help you. So I have listed quite a few of them here. I have reported some scams to local police departments as well. We actually went in and filed the report. You can report internet crime. You can report and also get advice from AARP. They have quite a robust fraud helpline, which is a toll-free number. You can go online and report it to cybernj.gov. As you can see that there are support agencies, not just on the federal level, but also on the state level, as well as the county level. So depending where you're living, you can get help right on your local level from your local agency. So depending which county you are, whether you're in PA or New Jersey, please find your agency on New Jersey Division of Agent Services. A lot of the times they have some sub offices under each of those kind of umbrellas that actually are tasked with helping seniors who have been victims of scam. And of course, I am here to help you. I always love talking about these scams. It's not my favorite topic. However, I think it's extremely important for you to understand and be aware of what is happening. I can tell you that some of this stuff is changing daily because of the level of sophistication and how technology evolves all the time. But I did include my contact information here for you. So if you're not finding the resources quick enough and you truly just need help, you can always reach out to me. And I'm more than happy to put you in touch with any kind of resources, including if it's scam help or if it's anything else that's pertaining to your home, to your neighborhood, or to your community. I also have a quite extensive resources, senior resource library that you can access for checklists, for home safety assessment, any kind of spreadsheets, and a lot more information as well. And of course, besides getting this workshop recorded for you, you can head over to my YouTube channel where you will find some more webinar recordings that you can use from the pleasure of your phone as well. And if you are on social media, I would love to connect with you. And you can always find me on Facebook. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to forward a copy of this recording as well as the workbook to Magnolia, and then she will spread the word and send it out to everybody else. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you want to contribute, or maybe something else that you have had in your own experience that you would like to share?
You mentioned the first type, you mentioned one of the scams, and that's the UPS scam. Now, just last week and this week, I received an email talking about they've been trying to deliver a package and were unable to do so. Now, right there, I'm not expecting any packages. Nothing am I expecting. And you mentioned something about the tracking number. They give you these weird tracking numbers. So what I did was I just copied that tracking number that they put there, and I went to UPS and put that in there. No such number exists. So that was a scam right there. I think what they were trying to do was to obtain my address.
If you're familiar, most of the time the FedEx or UPS will put a sticker on your door if they cannot deliver it. Because they don't have access. They don't have access to your email.
Not at all. Not at all.
I've gotten emails like that too, that packages were going to be delivered, and I just deleted them.
Yes, yes.
I was going to ask, is a company like LifeLock effective?
I have heard of them. I don't have personal experience. My suggestion to you is reach out to them and see what they offer. Like interview them, like you would interview another company to work with, like a contractor. And I will also go online and Google LifeLock reviews.
Okay.
Right. And I can guarantee you that you will be able to find reviews by others and what their experiences have been like in using this company.
Okay. Thank you.
Now you had something else. Two things really. These scammers are really slick. It has always been my policy. If I get a letter requesting anything, I will never call the telephone number that is listed in the letter. I am very big on going to the internet and pulling up the customer service number that way. But I'm glad you gave us the charitynavigator.com so that we can easily go and double check that. The other thing that I'm concerned about is this Best Buy Geek Squad. Could you talk about that just a little bit more?
So Geek Squad is a techie arm of Best Buy stores, right? Best Buy sells computers and all other kinds of equipment on software and hardware. And Geek Squad are the tech guys that can help you with your technology that you purchased from Best Buy, right? It's a funny name, but they are legitimate. And I know I can tell you that my father-in-law used to use them all the time. You can purchase like a service plan with Best Buy where if something happens to your computer, or if something is not working, you need some kind of help, you can take your computer or laptop or phone to Geek Squad, explain to them the situation. If you have that service plan, they will service your device and repair it for either free or whatever the fee is under your plan. So are they legitimate? Yes. I've never used them, but I do know some people who did, and they liked it because it's not like it's something over the phone or on the computer where you have to connect remotely. You physically take your laptop that you're on right now You take it to Best Buy store, to the Geek Squad section, and you tell them, my name is so-and-so. I have a service plan with you. My laptop is acting up, or I ran out of space, or you explain to them what the problem is, and they say, okay, leave your laptop, pick it up in 2 days, and we'll figure out what the problem is and fix it. So that's what they're for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was really concerned. I was really concerned when you mentioned because the red flags went up about this package stuff, you know, about this. We've been trying to reach, you know. I said, no, this doesn't make sense whatsoever. So I quickly dismissed that one.
I think the biggest thing you can take away from this is that before you act on anything, don't. Take your time to review the information. If you want, ask someone else to read it with you to see, does this look legitimate? Do your research, and then you decide how to act. Because nothing is
Yeah.
going to be life and death that's going to come in the email or a text message, right?
Anybody else had a question? Okay, I certainly do thank you for coming to us, and I know you will send a recording of this. I was anticipating a whole lot more people, but this is Friday. I guess everybody's out doing their thing. But this has been very helpful to me. And I will be repeating this and showing this to other people because I know scammers are out there. They get smarter and smarter every single day. And they send letters, they do the phone calls, the emails, the text messages. And it's just unreal how many people fall for some of the obvious scams. And they love it. I mean, they love it. It's when you look at how much money is spent in a day from people being scammed, it is unbelievable. And a lot of people don't take the time to investigate who they're spending their monies to. They just sending out money, and these people are just pumping and just keep pumping, and they're smart. They're smart in a lot of ways. But this has been very, very educational. And I want to thank everyone who did come on tonight. I do want to thank you, and I hope that you would mention it to other people. And Olga will be sending me a recording of it. And I do think that it's a topic that we need to be having roundtable discussions with our families, within our churches, and with other groups that we are affiliated with, because people do need to be careful. And it looks like they love to prey on the senior citizens.
Absolutely. All right, well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you have a nice and dry weekend. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure I'll see you around, and I will send out a copy of the recording as well as the link to the resources. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help.
Thank you so much, Olga.
My pleasure. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.